Hi, I just came out of a swim. I just played tennis with my friend, and my other friend was there, and we went swimming after tennis. And I wanted to speak about a topic about logical construct versus. Um, I'm speaking about it logically. I'll just say what I'm trying to say. So basically, I spoke with my acting teacher Marco yesterday about how as I've become more flow based and less logically oriented, my interests keep changing. Like I play tennis, I do spiritual videos. I used to write speeches and stuff, and I used to try to make a profession out of that, which didn't work as a profession, right? But I actually developed, a lot of skills. I had a really good time. It's fed into my music. It's done a lot of things. But even those are like practical things that I'm saying that I got out of it, right? I did it. That's the point. I did it, right? And now as a musician, right, I had a band in the past and I was writing songs and I couldn't play guitar or piano. I just could write and I was learning how to sing. The band broke up, so I learned guitar. But then I picked up piano in 2021 and I've been playing that. In India, I only had guitar and only acoustic. Now I'm playing a lot of piano, though I have my acoustic, I have my electric, I have a bass as well, and I'm putting together a new band as well. But the point is, it's not about, I'm finding that, Eckhart Tolle talks about the now, right? I read a passage in A New Earth yesterday called Can You Hear the Mountain Stream? And a Zen master was walking with some other guy who was trying to like become Zen. He was trying to understand the purpose of Buddhism, and the disciple asked the Zen master, "How do I enter the Zen?" And then the Buddhist master said he didn't respond for 5 minutes. He was in silence. It was an agonizing silence because he wasn't logically responding. He said, "Can you hear the mountain stream?" And the Buddhist disciple is faintly. He heard a mountain stream, and he says, "Yes," because he wasn't thinking. He was in the now. And the Buddhist master said, "Enter Zen from there." Then the disciple logically asked him, "Can you? What would happen if I didn't hear the mountain stream?" The Zen master said, "Enter Zen from there." See, so basically now I'm just a lot more flow based, and um, after tennis I went swimming, and I was doing like some laps like underwater, then also freestyle, and uh, and sort of relaxed. I wasn't that goal oriented about it. I wasn't like type A about it. But then I'm like, you know what? Let me just enjoy this pool. Let me just enjoy being with my friend. Let me not think about getting exercise or try to extract some gold from it, right? And then I ended up just going like I went like underneath. I experienced buoyancy rather than just like going along the logical structure. Because when there's a logical structure, the thing becomes a drag. It becomes boring. It becomes an obligation. You don't want to do it, And I've had this pool here for 16 years since I moved to Florida, and I've used it quite a bit, but nothing compared to what I could have, you know. But if I just went in and jumped in and just had fun, I would have gotten so much more out of it. And goal orientation has actually worked counter to my goals, right? Like when I was in high school, I was studying to go to an Ivy League, and that's what I just thought I needed to do. And I didn't learn as much as the people around me who didn't care as much about the goal, because I was studying to get the A. I was studying to get the score in the SAT, and I figured out the exact ways to study in that way. Whereas in truth, of course, the grade should be a reflection of how well you know the subject, not how well you can take tests. So I learned the wrong skill, and I'm aware of that now. And as it worked out, I didn't go to an Ivy League. I went to the University of Florida, which was right for me. I had my tennis, I had my friends. It was right for me, but not in the logical construct of go to the Ivy League. Now, I'm not saying to abdicate logic and everything. I'm not saying to throw it away. I'm saying that it's important to be able to understand where logic fits within the total picture, and only your intuition, only a deeper sense of soul, so to say, a deeper sense of wisdom, so to say, can understand when to apply logic and when not. And so basically, I'm just enjoying things more, right? I stopped making spiritual videos in India because when I was making them in the past, they were a little bit too logical. I wasn't as expressive. I wasn't as happy as I am now. I was more structured, logically structured. I wore a suit in the beginning when I started this channel 2 years ago. and I set everything up on a tripod. I had a mic and everything. So logically speaking, that was better, so to say. But I don't know. I kind of like this better. It's more free. It's more open. It's more expressive, right? And therefore more truth, more energetic truth, and probably even more logical things are said in this more free flow context. Um, yeah, Bob Dylan. Um, he did a tour called Rolling Thunder or something like that. It was in 1975. I watched a documentary and it was on Netflix called Rolling Thunder Review, REVUE, and basically his managers and all this stuff, like they said financially it was a disaster because Bob Dylan could play large stadiums and stuff, but he instead just went to like these bars with like 30 people or 200 people or 300 people, like small, right, for someone who's famous like him. And Bob Dylan was asked about it, and he says, "Yeah, I mean, maybe from a financial standpoint, it was not good." And but he's not thinking like that. I mean, the guy's already rich, right? Like he doesn't need to think at that level, right? So he's just thinking from a standpoint of adventure, from a standpoint of all these other things. It was fantastic, and yeah, but but one doesn't need to be rich in order to move past that logical paradigm. He maybe the reason he was rich is because he didn't take those logical paradigms. Like he, unlike the Beatles, unlike these other people, didn't make music designed to sell. He made music that was very different and very avant-garde for its time, and something about that struck a chord with the people. You know, Eminem in the same way. Like he made rap in a way that was very different than the people around him, right? Because like he really spoke about not like the struggle of a larger community. He also didn't talk about some of the topics other rappers are talking about. He really just talked about his own self. He also didn't try to make himself look good, right? He said the most horrendous stuff about his own self on his records, and that's what made them so powerful. So it made them so true. In his second major album, the Marshall Mathers LP, there's a song called "Stan," and one of the lyrics is, "Stan is an obsessed fan."